Today's video is going to be of a vintage digital camera, but first let's start up my epic F18T8 pre-fluorescent light. That was epic. Anyways, today's video is going to be of a camera that is now considered vintage because of the following reason. This camera is my Canon IXUS 160, and the reason it's now a vintage camera is because it has a CCD sensor. This camera has been a good camera for what it's been, a very good camera, and this camera came out in 2016, and in the camera community, anything with a CCD sensor is considered vintage, so that's why the Canon IXUS 160 is now a vintage digital camera. Even though it came out in 2016, it's a vintage digicam. So let's review what this camera does really well. This camera shoots at 720p, 25 frames per second, which is the reason I don't use it much anymore. However, when I'm feeling nostalgic and I want to use my old camera, that's why it's here when I need it. It's got a really nice menu. It uses Canon's older menu design, and the battery's about to die on this camera. You can choose if you want the flash on or not. You can choose whether you want the frame rate. You can choose whether you want how you want your autofocus. That's what AF means, autofocus. Those are my settings on the camera. Yep. This camera shoots in 720p, 25 frames per second, but it could be mistaken it could be definitely mistaken for and yes, is that the correct date? Yes. No, it's not the correct date. It's not the correct time, but it's the correct date. And this camera works absolutely perfect. Basically, the Canon IXUS 160 is exactly the same as the Canon IXUS 190, but the Canon IXUS 190 does not have, no, the Canon IXUS 160 does not have steady shot or image stabilization. The Canon IXUS 190 does. However, if you hold the camera steady, that issue is resolved. Or you set it down on the if you set it down on the surface. So, therefore, what I do is, because I don't usually use a strap at times. I don't use a strap on my cameras. I use. Yes, this camera works absolutely perfect, by the way. This camera, its last use was in Blackpool, 2025, because I didn't want to take my Canon PowerShot SX740 HS to Blackpool because Blackpool has a high crime rate, and if someone sees my Canon PowerShot SX48HS, they'll be like, oh, that's a nice camera to steal. So, and therefore, I did take the camera to Blackpool. So that's why I took the Canon IXUS 160 instead. So, therefore, this is still my main filming camera that I'm putting on right now, the Canon PowerShot SX48HS. My secondary filming camera, because it's a dedicated camera, and I'm just tired of my iPhone filling up, saying iPhone storage full, and therefore I just use a camera because it's just easier. So yeah, the Canon IXUS 160. Let's go on to camera specs and have a look at the camera itself. And when it came out and stuff. So let's have a look at the camera specs. Canon IXUS 160. Yes, it's still available. Imagine thinking the Canon IXUS 160 is a bad camera, by the way. The Canon IXUS 160 is a good camera. That's the same model as the one I have right here. Except mine does not have this cool charger. Let's look at the size images actually. Yeah, mine doesn't have detachable cores. My Canon PowerShot SX48HS has that. But the Canon IXUS 160 has a battery charger where you can put the battery in a charger. But mine does not have. Mine just has it attached to the plug. It's a one-piece mould. So, and why is the Canon IXUS 160 considered vintage now? Well, it has a CCD sensor. And no, this camera was not purchased. It was given to me. It was just in the box of stuff that wasn't working. I was in college. This camera was just looking very sorry for itself in a box. I was like, and the very nice staff at my college let me have this camera. And this is now my camera. So basically, this camera was gifted. It was given. And if it wasn't for me finding the battery charger, one of the days I found a battery charger somewhere else, I would not have been able to use this camera ever again. But now I've got a fully working Canon IXUS 160 that takes good quality images and good quality videos as well. It does better. That sound here is a common sound CCD sensors make. And what is a CCD sensor? Well, the CCD sensor is the CCD sensor specifications. So yes, let's have a look at the specifications. By the way, this is a better camera I'm using right now, the Canon PowerShot SX48HS. Yep, that's what it uses. So I was right. CCD sensor. 20 megapixel CCD sensor, 8 times optical zoom lens. And again, imagine thinking the Canon IXUS 160 came out in 2009. The Canon IXUS 160 came out in 2016, you dingus. Yep, CCD. My Canon PowerShot SXM48S, which is my really good camera, has a CMOS sensor and shoots at 1080p 50 frames per second. However though, this camera here, the Spanish bloke has said that this camera is practically identical to the IXUS 190, but this can do 1080p 50 frames per second, and yeah. So what do I think of the Canon IXUS 160 in 2025? Is it still a good camera? Yes. It is vintage, by the way, because it's an old because it has a CCD sensor. It's one of the last ever cameras to have a CCD sensor. The 190 was basically the exact same camera, but with image stabilization, and the lens was the same color as the body. And does the Canon IXUS 190 have this boot screen, or does it have the new one that the G7X uses? Please tell me. Thanks for watching.